rotted away. There's nothing. This is what I worked on the other day because I thought it was just, you know, like, oh, there's just no meat here and here. Well, this is like totally gone too. Hey, good morning. All right, Sunday morning, and we're gonna get going here. And I'll show you when I get up here why it is so nice to get this barn clean. Yeah, I'll give that a good shot. So this is a little damp just because those cows are coming in and out, eating their hay and stuff like that. So there, a little bit of droppings will be in here. That's not to be expected. But in here, this was wet yesterday, and everything is dry. It's all surface dried. So it's just getting down to that concrete, letting the air get at it, and finally drying it out. And we're not letting these heifers in here. That's the other part, because they don't need to come in here. So on the dock for today is possibly putting that disc back on, and then Dad going down and disking down those corn stalks, at least trying it to see how it does. And then while he's doing that, and then I can haul a few more loads of manure onto this field right over here. That's kind of the plan for today. This is almost full. Then I'm going to give a shot to that back pen just to make sure they have plenty of water for the rest of the day, and then we'll top it off at feeding time. All right, let's get the 44 started. We'll let that guy warm up a little bit, because if it's going to disc, it needs to have its coffee first. Alright, we'll let that one run. See if we can get this 29 started, which I have no doubts it'll start. Alright, so we made it down to the pit field. And it looks like these stalks pretty much got beat up pretty decent from the winter. So this shouldn't be too bad. But we'll see how it goes. I think it'll turn out okay. We at least want to knock it down or go over it one time to knock it down, then we'll probably spread manure over the top of it. We are going at an angle here to kind of cross the rows to hopefully grab and chop these up a little bit nicer too. Don't seem to be doing too bad of a job. Alright, so it seems like this is going okay. Again, we're just trying to knock them down, get a little dirt on top of them, just so that they're kind of sized up a little bit. Granted, a VT would be way better for this, but our disc is what we got, and I think it'll do fine. And then we're going to spread manure on top of it, chisel it, and then disc it again. Alright, a little bit of an update. I just unloaded my third load, so that was load 11. Making a little bit of progress here. It is pretty breezy out, so that's why I'm not recording a whole ton, and besides it's scoop, dump, scoop, dump, scoop, dump. But this peak's kind of been getting out here a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of clean that up. Plus it's kind of muddy, there's a little bit of a hole there, so I've been kind of avoiding it. But we're gonna get in there and dig that out. Dad's still going down there, I can still hear him. All right, broke a shear pin. So we're able to do like 3 strips when we're doing this. So when I start, we go down, we shut off at the end, turn around, come back. So when I got down here, I shut it off. I turned it back on a little bit too quick. You kind of got to feather it a little bit. This PTO isn't the greatest for this, but on the 29th. So what we're looking at, here's one side, and then where is the hole? There it is. So I'm going to turn the PTO on just a little bit to get that hole in a better spot, and hopefully I have the tools. But I do have shear bolts. We got them at Fleet last night. All right, I think we can make this work. So normally we have a channel box, and that's why I told Dad we should put like a toolbox on here and just keep the tools on here on the manure spreader. It'd be so much easier. Our last New Holland spreader just had a belt, so you'd slip the belt. And I'd much rather have a shear bolt. And it's in a very nice, convenient spot. But like on the 44, it's on, the toolbox is on the opposite side of the tractor. And then we wouldn't have to have shear bolts and everything in 2 different tractors and all that kind of stuff. You could just have it in one, and it's just on the manure spreader. There we go. It don't take much to change it. It's not a huge deal. And when we do this style of bed pack, it doesn't surprise me when we break shear pins. There we go. We got it. I just went a little too fast when I started it the last time. All right, back at it. Took a little lunch. And definitely looks like the bulls calmed down. Those stupid idiots were fighting, and I hate it. And this little 53, I mean, granted, he's not that little. He's at least 1,000 pounds. Yeah, you pick fights with everybody, don't you? Don't you, buddy? Yeah, so hence the dirt face. Doesn't back down from the other ones, so. But they're liking that trace block I gave them. I do like those Redmond ones. I think they're just a tick better than, you know, just the average red ones, which I'll probably use here and there. Plus they're on sale, so they're like $1.50 off or something. But everybody else is chilling out, they're laying down, so that's nice. All right, let's get this set up and let's start hauling a few more loads. All right, so Dad is gonna haul a couple of loads. What did I haul now? That was 12, 13 loads. We've hauled 13 loads so far this year. I'm gonna go mark that down. Then this will be load 14. But I need to fix this. I kind of did yesterday, or a couple days ago. Not looking promising. There is not really a solid chunk of wood on there. So I need a tape measure. I need my skill saw. We've got plenty of pine here, so I might be able to disassemble some of it, kind of scab some new pieces on. We got screws, we got saws, we got wood. We can do it. But we've already started looking for a bunk feeder. One like these. It would probably actually be like this size. I think this is a 14 footer. That would be the size that we would want, because that gives you, that's 10 slots, which would be really, really nice. All right, so we had to lock the bulls out because the exploratory surgery is gonna get pretty in depth. So I took the cap off. We had one 2x6 horizontal, and then we've got these two on edge, but these are all, you can see this is all rotted away. There's nothing. This is what I worked on the other day because I thought it was just, you know, like, oh, there's just no meat here and here. Well, this is like totally gone too. So we're gonna take both of these off. The verticals for the most part should be okay, and even these verticals are still fairly solid, but we'll replace these two and put a new cap on it. And I think we've got, I do have a bunch of 16, these are all 16 foot. I got a bunch of 16 foot fir, old fencing boards that are still solid as a rock, but I still have all of this pine over here. But a lot of this pine is like 10 to 12 foot. It's not 16. Don't worry, this is just a temporary fix. The nice thing is that we have 3 of these small I-beams in here. These guys. So, well, it's a not really it's a channel, and then it's got this flange welded on it. It's like skip welded every like 12 inches, and then these are cemented in. So we've got a few of them along the line here. We'll keep on going along here. It's just a project that needed to be done, and today's the day. Got a little bit of progress going on here. So we've got a new top stringer. This is really nice. These might be redwood. I think they might be redwood. I thought about it some more. That's why they're still really good. Those things are like as old as I am, but they're in such really nice shape. I'm gonna put another one on the outside like we had before, and then I'll find a new cap. I do need to find some stuff to make a couple new verticals. Some of them just, yeah, they sucked. So we'll do that, and we're getting there. Dad's still hauling. He's actually hauling down to the pit field now, which is good. So we're making some progress there as well. So we're on, what, load 15 now, I think. So yeah, we're getting there. We are almost done with my little project. Dad's gonna do one more load, I think, and then we'll feed. I think one of the best things you could ever buy is Milwaukee impact driver. Granted, impact driver of any kind, but we are Milwaukee guys, so I was glad. I mean, we've always used Dad's. Dad's had one for years. I think he's actually on his second one in like 10 years, but I got one for, yeah, did I buy it for my Christmas present? Yeah, I think I bought it for my Christmas present. It's very nice having an extra one. All right, let's feed some hay. Just one bale tonight. We had 2 last night. We got Photo here. Hi, Photo. Yes, you're a shoe, huh, kiddo? Yeah? Ooh. You're getting feisty in your old age, huh? Yeah? Go eat, kid. Everybody's looking really good. I don't know. I'm picky. And we got our mic drop bull. He's doing good, getting off of his Schlitties issue. Everybody seems to be doing okay. Is this our True Justice bull? Yep, that's our one True Justice factor bull. On the cut list though, so we have 3 of those guys. Him, 75, and then a 313 are kind of all on that. Like, they could all potentially one, 2, or actually 3 of them could get cut. We'll see. So she's still looking sharp. This is our bold ruler heifer, who is kind of like the 75 bold ruler heifer. She's kind of leading the charge in quality here. She looks really, really good. Yep, everybody's looking pretty solid out here. Okay, we actually finished. Well, I finished and Dad stopped hauling. I think 16 loads for this weekend. But here we go. So doubled up like before here, and these are redwood. This is not a 16 footer. These are 2/8. This is a 16 footer. I did not do the redwood 16 foot on the top because I wanted to span. I wanted to butt up against here and then span out to here. So we've got these pine 2x8s, and it's not a full span, but it's still, it caps it off and it is solid. Luckily I did have a clamp because there was a good bow to it, and I didn't want to put, and then they were cupping a little bit because they've been sitting out here for a while, but it's solid. It's basically back to the way it was before. I didn't really change anything because it was the way it was sturdy. So, and I told Dad, note to self, that when we replace it, there's a lot of good screws in there and they're all Torx bit. So, gonna save those guys. But some of the ones I took out, I reused them and they had probably been in there for 10 years. Well, we have come to the end of the day. It has been a pretty darn decent, productive weekend. The weather actually cooperated for once, for 2 days in a row. So that's kind of nice. We got the barn clean. That was #1 priority, and that was mission accomplished. So that is very, very nice. It's nice and dry in there, which we knew would happen, especially you get these nice breezes and stuff that come out of the south in the spring. And it for our barn, the opening's on the south end. So it comes in, just dries it right out, which is nice. And around the squeeze chute's pretty clean. I got to do a little more work to get ready for doing AI, and then also in a few weeks doing our breeding soundness exams, which we need to do, especially since one of our bulls is spoken for now. These girls, they're still bedded down really nice because we got north of the border also cleaned out. Factor is liking the fact that I cleaned out in front of the barn there in his opening. He likes to chill out right in the opening there, which I don't blame him. He can stay out of the rain but be in the sun, depending on the weather, of course. Didn't think I was going to be totally dismantling like half of the bull's bunk feeder, but that was a need to do, so it was nice that Dad was able to keep hauling and I could do that. And it turned out fine. It's nice and sturdy and should last until we replace it, which is we're gonna keep looking. That's gonna be on our to-do list. It's gonna be a busy next couple of weeks. Hopefully the weather cooperates and we can keep hauling and getting some disking in and possibly seeding some oats in the next week or so, next 2 weeks. All right, so we'll call this the end of the day, end of the video. I hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Help support the channel. Shows you like what we're doing. Also, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Help us get 2,000 subs by the end of the month, by the end of May, 1st of June, start of haying season, whichever happens second. I'll give you that much. Whatever happens second. When haying season starts, when we start cutting hay, I want to hit 2,000 subs. I know you guys can do it. I'll try and do my part. You do your part. Hit that subscribe button. Let's hit 2,000 subs by June in haying season. And of course, thanks for coming along.